my good friend Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Jesus owns Advanced Green Installation. Now, in part of the house here, we're doing a closed cell spray foam. We're using an Excellus product, right? It's their Green Guard product. Is that the name of it? It has a GWP of 1 or less.
And a low VOC.
And a low VOC, right? So we're inside the truck where kind of some of the magic happens, but the magic we're going to come to find out really happens at the very end of the line. But this is where, let's say, the magic starts, right? So we're in a truck. It's a little loud in here, but that comes with the business, right? On the other side of this wall is
big generator. That's why it's loud like that. We have a big diesel generator behind this wall with an air compression and air dry. Make sure we're not introducing any moisture in the house. That's very important. If you have the air compression producing air, you don't have any your dry system, you're going to introduce moisture in the house. We have a really good air dry system. Make sure that air we're going to produce, we're not going to bring any water on the phone.
So all of your equipment basically is outside the house.
Outside.
But it's also, as you can imagine, you pull up to some job sites, there might be power, but there might not be enough power to run these machines. So you basically have to build a self-sustaining environment on wheels.
Steve, we use everything in our own truck. We show up in a customer house, we do a job. We don't use nothing for the customer.
Right, you don't plug in, you don't drain
at all.
Nothing. Everything is in the truck, and it goes into the house. You even got your own electrical panel here that has all the circuits. You got a heater here. The heater, as you can imagine, if you work all over New England, there's going to be times of the year where the back of the truck is cold. And we need a heater to keep the material warm, right? What's the lowest temperature?
The thing is, the foam is a high recommendation not to spray up below 40 degrees. But we have, as you see, this foam, this whole box was encapsulated with heat. So we never let the foam go down, the product down under 40 degrees.
Right. So we're always above 40 degrees here, and in the house, air temperature outside, etc. So even on those days where it might be 20 degrees outside in your truck, the heater will come on and make sure all the materials are staying warm until that 40 degree temperature.
Yeah. And the good thing is, Steve, we have a high efficient machine. If our product is not the exact temperature we need to do it, the machine's not going to pump. It's going to shut down.
So the machine's got a brain, and we'll talk about it more, but there's a handful of triggers that the machine says, if this isn't happening, or this isn't happening, or this isn't happening, the machine shuts down.
The machine automatically stop our guys.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about that machine. You can come over here. So this is the whole brains behind the operation, right?
Sure. So that's a Graco machine. Go ahead.
Graco machine. This is basically taking, when you're spraying the closed cell like we are, we're basically being supplied from two separate entities here. We have a red drum and a white drum. And so those come together. This machine is understanding that that mix is coming together. And you had showed me here. This is the typical spray gun that you guys are using. And this has one line from each of those tanks, and then it obviously has our air compression line, because that's the vehicle to get the spray out of the gun and into the wall cavity or roof cavity. But the magic really happens right there.
Right here. So that's where the magic can happen. So let's see when over here. Keep it up. Steve, it's secret. It's higher device. We never mix a foam inside. None of this foam can be mixed here. So because of two different chemicals, we have an A side and B side. So all the junk is different color, red and white. And we have a pump stick in the drum. The pump gonna pump the machine, and the machine is gonna heat up the material in 100 and 225 each one. A and B. The hose is going to be 124, a little bit underneath, and the machine's going to pump to the hose. A guy going to pull a trigger.
So that's this stuff coming out, right? here, those are the lines that are going into the house.
So that's the whole point. We're only gonna bring to the house just the gun.
Just the gun. This sits here. Now, we had talked about the triggers. Now, there's a very specific ratio of mix between A and B
Yes, it
that
is.
needs to happen there. And if this machine identifies that mix isn't meeting that ratio, it shuts down.
Oh, I'm gonna shut down. I'm gonna explain why. Because we are not job site. So if a guy's left something, let the job open, something gonna fall inside, it's gonna close. So, and this machine gonna know if something stops anywhere inside the machine, one block is gonna go more than the other, and the machine's gonna find out it's start to spray off the shield, automatically gonna stop right there. Nothing gonna make this machine work. We have to check them out line by line. The material has to flow equal, otherwise it's not gonna work.
Right. And if it isn't meeting these temperatures, it shuts down.
Shut down.
So the machine is basically your check and balance system. So when this shuts down, it says, hey guys, we have a problem. You have to come back here and check through the whole system and make sure that we have proper operation.
And see, one thing I'm gonna just compliment on that. So it doesn't matter what kind of brand you spray. If you're not having a really good and efficient machine, you're gonna come up bad luck. So you need a type of machine like that to do a very quality work out there. So
And I've heard from a lot of people that have inspected spray foam jobs and such that the reality is that you have to have a good installer,
Oh, yeah.
but you have to be on top of that mix, and that ratio has to be right. I mean, I'm sure there's a very small window of tolerance, but it's not very wide.
yes, the window, as you can see, is starting from 500. If the windows are between 100 and 200, the machine accepts. Over 200, it's no accept. Machine automatically gonna shut down. The gates have to work equal. That's when the gates pump equal. Right there, you're doing a great job. You spray it with foam.
There you go. All right, well, there you have it. Steve Baczek Architect. This is, been doing this for a while, but this is the first time I ever jumped in the back of the truck and got an education. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Advanced Screen Insulation. It's owned by my good friend Jesus here. He works all over New England. So if you have an insulation job,
You better go.
he's the guy you want to give a call. Steve Baczek Architect. And that's everything from the back of the truck. Long live our building.